How to create simple animations using draw.io, and then afterwards how to actually make it a GIF file. GIF, 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 you get the point, so the moving picture one. So basically I will take you step by step on how to do that. So we are going to be using draw.io obviously, so I'm just going to open up draw.io. It's very simple. And then here you would want to either create a new diagram or open an existing one. Doesn't really matter. And here I'm just going to go ahead and create a new one. And I'm basically going to create a diagram that can be animated. Basically, the animations are going to be nothing too crazy. It's just going to be moving lines and arrows, basically. So it's going to be very simple animations, but we can actually make them as a GIF file, which is very useful, and you can actually share them much easier this way. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose this one for the sake of the example and just name it GIF test, and I'm just going to click on create. Now I need to note that I'm just going to leave it desktop so I can actually just delete it later on. I need to note that draw.io itself cannot really create the file at the end, the GIF file. You will need to go ahead and actually do it yourself. And I will show you how to do it, so don't worry too much about it. Basically, we have these lines here. These lines we can actually animate, and we can actually make them have some sort of a moving path, basically. So we can just go ahead and set them up accordingly. This way we have the flow animation. So we need to start by actually just checking on the arrows, and if for example, this is a pre-made template from draw.io. You can, however, use also a picture that you have, put it on draw.io, and then place lines on top of it, and then also animate them. I will get to that in a sec, but for the time being, if you have a pre-made template from draw.io and you can actually access all the elements here, especially the lines, we can just get started very easily. Let's start with this arrow here. So basically, it's just you're going to need to click on that, and then here you will need to just go ahead and click on flow animation. And you can see already we have the first animation ready to go. You can see the lines are going from left to right accordingly. So we can also adjust a few things here. For example, the thickness of the lines, or the space between them, you could say. We can just adjust this over here. You can make it a straight line, but it's just not going to work with flow animation, obviously. You can make it so that it's more like dots. But yeah, this is not the bottom ones are not going to be really visible, so just make sure to go with a different one. I'm just going to stick with this one. I think it's going to be, oops, sorry about that. Let's go like that. I don't really want it to be two ways, so we can just adjust it. This is going to be also, I think this does also affect the actual animation look. So if you just, yeah, you can see now that the right side at least has a proper, I'm just going to, I'm going to remove the left one in a sec, but I'm just trying to mess with this. So basically this is how to create your connections. You would want to obviously remove the arrow directions that you don't want. Okay, so now that you have your first line ready, you can just go ahead and feel free to animate the rest of them. Just make sure you don't connect in a opposite way, otherwise it's just going to show a different line. So this is a normal line. It's not going to have an arrow here, you can see. And it's going to work exactly the same thing. We can just click on flow animation, and we can see that it is working. So we can actually just view that over here. Now, this, as you can see, it is from up to down. What if you actually want it to be from from down to upwards? This is all going to depend on how you want to connect it. For example, let's say we want this from right to left. You would want to connect this from right to left. And now it's just going to be from right to left. If you want it to be, well, for example, let's just get a line over here. We want it to be from here to here. And it's just going to work, flow animation, and we have from left to right. Now this, because I have just pulled it up from nowhere. I believe we can actually just adjust it from here, if I'm not mistaken. I'll need to look more into this. Okay, so I've just found a much easier way. If you actually just create them from the left panel here, if you want to change the direction from right to left or whichever direction, you can just manually do it by just, it's like this right now. It's from right to left. If you want it to be the opposite, you can just go ahead and boom, you have it as you want. So I can just place them between here if I want to. This here, this is here, and we can see that we have already changed it. Now, this is how to animate them. Again, it's just going to work with all of them. You can just do flow animation. It's going to do its thing. It's not going to be too complicated unless you want it to be. So, just feel free to animate this entire thing. I'm just going to get some sort of a picture now, so you can see exactly how it's going to work. Okay, so I don't really have a picture of a diagram, so I'm just going to be using this one for the time being. But let's say this is a diagram. Okay, let me just move this to the left here, so it's not going to get interrupted again. Okay, so let's say we have a diagram here, a picture of a diagram. I mean, it does have the lines and everything, but obviously you cannot animate them because, you can't really touch them. It's a full picture. What you would want to do in this case, you would want to just go ahead and grab yourself a line. Just move it so that it is going to be, let me just change the color so it is visible. Apply. There you go. So you can move it so it is like on top of the actual lines of the diagram that you have, and you can just go ahead, zoom in, and just feel free to again animate it. And this is how to do it. It's very simple. It's going to take more steps if you are going to be using a picture. So obviously we don't really want to, usually it's just going to be better if you start from scratch with draw.io, but at the same time I just wanted to show you that you do have options. If you have a picture, you can also do them. Let's just go back here, and let's say now we are happy with what we have here. So this section here, I want to make a GIF now. So there are going to be a few methods that you can actually do to create a GIF. Like I said, draw.io does not provide that at the moment, so we need to use some external apps or websites. So you can just go ahead. If you have a video taking software like OBS here, I can't really use it and show you because I'm recording now. But you can record a video and just go online and go from video to GIF, and it's just going to turn that for you. Or you can actually download a platform that I really use. It's called Screen to GIF. So you can just go to Screen to GIF, open this up, and you will need to download it. Just click on installer, and then you can just go ahead and install it. I already have it. I'm not going to really install it, but it's safe. Don't worry about it. And now that you actually have that platform, let me just go ahead and open it up. Okay, yeah, this is the one that we have just recorded. It's, as you can see, it's properly working and everything. Now, I did show my mouse here. If you just, did I not? Yeah, there you go, the mouse thing. So make sure you don't really interrupt the GIF while you're recording it. Just don't move your mouse at all. Just make sure it's somewhere else. And this is how it works. This is pretty much how to animate and export it as GIF if you want to. So hopefully you have found this video to be helpful, and thanks for watching.